Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I'm Kissy. So today we have the full moon in Gemini that along with the sun in Sagittarius brings this energy of oppositions together and kind of forcing us to make a decision. With a water trine involved, we have to really consider not getting emotionally overwhelmed or mentally destabilized to the point that we lose our sense of order in our chaos. So there are a few things that I do want to discuss, not trying to be too personal, but take my message today kind of like from a political standpoint. There are energies that when they are aware that you are coming out of a dynamic that was trying to keep you limited in any way, under their thumb, so to speak, they love to engage you in some form of interaction, especially during these powerful moon transits. Those people do it systematically, clearly, obviously, and will deny it despite how clear the evidence is of what they're doing. They deny it because they believe that denying it means because it can't be proven, therefore it does not exist. What they don't understand is that it's not you that they have to admit it to. They already know the truth. They know what they're doing behind the scenes to effect change. Now, if that intention is to the benefit of all that they are involved in, meaning if they're trying to effect change for you, is it to your advantage? And if they know in their heart of hearts that whatever they're doing that may not seem on the up and up is going to benefit you just as much as them, then they should be clear with their conscience about what they're doing. The problem is, if they're doing it to your detriment, and they're aware that they're doing it to your detriment, then they need to understand that that kind of manipulation, that kind of coercion, that kind of tactic is not going to fly anymore. It's not going to work. It's going to be exposed for what it is, a deceit, a lie, and you're going to have to stand on that. It's like, is what you're saying something you can stand on? Is what you're saying something you have faith in? So for example, you say you're independent and someone is supporting you. Are you truly independent? Because if they're supporting you but you're still independent, is it because you need their support, or is it because they're choosing to support you? There's a difference. You have individuals that choose to support you because it serves something for them that you're not aware of. And in their eyes, their supporting of you means that if they take it away, that you cannot continue to be as you are. They believe that your success is dependent on their support. And what they neglect to realize is that you have probably made it very clear to them, abundantly clear to them. You know what your rights are, you know what you deserve, you know who you are, and you know you're correct. So when you know this, and they choose to take away their support because they believe that doing so is the last straw to take to manipulate or control you, or to have some kind of connection to you that benefits them behind your back, supposedly without your knowledge, they end up in a situation where they're going to learn really quickly what it is to interfere with purpose. Okay? So this isn't judgment on anyone in terms of like, it's not for us to judge anyone. It's for us to make a judgment within ourselves of what I say no to, where I stand on that no, and why I can stand on that no 100%. Why I can say, no problem. You don't have to, I never asked you to support me. If you want to support me, it's because you want to. But don't pretend that I'm dependent on that at all to survive. And let's assume that in some ways that was survival. Your reasons to remove support are unfounded. In other words, it's because it's your only card to play to assume that you're manipulating, that you're able to manipulate me. So people in your lives that think that it's okay to, or want to make it look on the surface that this exchange looks like this. In this exchange, it looks like I have power over you. But in reality, just like I know, that the power there comes because you're allowed to support me. You want to support me in this? Sure. I thank you. I receive what you're supporting here because it's to the benefit of what I'm creating, of what I'm building. But let's not get it twisted, okay? Where you assume that this means now that you can withhold that and that somehow what am I supposed to do? Cater to your whims? I did not acknowledge the terms that you created behind the scenes. I'm adhering to the terms that we both spoke in public, meaning outside ourselves. This wasn't in my head. So people play these little mind games, okay, of projection to engage you in debates, to engage you in their chaos so that they could distract you, so that they can rattle you, so that they can destabilize you, so that they can play God over you, knowing full well that they never were, they never could, and they never will be. What are they mad about? What are you mad about? Justify your lack of doing your responsibility. Justify your lack of doing your responsibility. And I'll justify my choice of how much of what you're responsible for I allow you to participate in. Let's make it clearer. Two individuals have a child together. When one person decides that their responsibility to that child is not a responsibility, it's a choice. It's like, I'll do it when I want to. I'll do it when I can. I'll do it when it's convenient. I'll do it when I get something better out of it. When that's the mindset, and you say, okay, fine. If that's what you want, then don't worry. I'm already prepared to continue my role without you participating. And the reason why you're not participating, you should know, is because you crossed a boundary that you cannot engage back into. You crossed a line that you weren't supposed to cross. And when you know that, and you know that my stance to say no to you is valid, because when it comes to protecting my children, are you going to say anything to me that I'm doing wrong for protecting my children? Because if you want to take this to a legal entity, they're going to say exactly what I'm saying. So let's not play that game, assuming that you have some kind of right here to control me because of the peon change you provide. Okay? Well, you provide, when I say thank you for your support, when I respond with your child appreciates what you've provided, that's me giving you acknowledgement of your good deed. Because, of course, we have to motivate for you to do what is supposed to be innate for you to do. Feeding my children isn't something that I want credit for. It's my responsibility. Ensuring they have a roof over their head is not something I need credit for. It's something that I do because it's my responsibility. Ensuring my kids have the opportunities that they need. It's my responsibility to ensure that they are aware that they are there available for them to take advantage of. What they choose to do with that is on them. What you choose to do with that is on you. If you cannot do your responsibilities for the sake of just doing your responsibilities, then that to you is not something that you want to do. You're not doing that because it's the right thing to do. You're not doing that because you know it's your purpose to do so. You do it because you think somehow it links you. You think somehow it connects you. You think somehow it attaches you, or it keeps me stuck to you. Get the fuck out of my face. Because it doesn't. Now please, you know I'm speaking personally here, but you also tell that if you resonate with me, you probably have had relationships in your life with people that think that because you gave them access to your life, because you gave them a position in your reality, that somehow they govern you. They don't govern you, and they know that they don't govern you, because if they did, they'd still be around. The fact that you told them, get the fuck out of my country, bitch, is because it's my motherfucking country. And if you're not in this country for me, for us to be a better country, then you need to get the fuck out of my face. I'm not here to support you. I'm not here to support you to support other people. I'm not here to support you to destroy me, because that's what you do when you do what you do, the way that you do it. When you lie, you scam, you cheat, and you create drama, and you do things with lies and manipulation, and you want to be supported, and you want to be supported, and you're told over and over, stop crossing the boundary that you have been told not to cross. Don't be mad and stop whining when the doors get closed, when no one's listening, when no one's hearing you out. They're not hearing you out because you no longer have a voice in that court. You no longer have authority in that court. And the reason you don't have authority in that court is because you took the power that you were given and you took advantage of that. Now you can see that in a political view, you can see that in a household, you can see that with your job, you can see that with your friends, you can see that with your family, okay? You crossed the boundary with me after I've asked you not to, after I've said this is what I agree to, this little thing here, this I agree to. That access alone does not permit you anywhere else, does not permit you to access anything else, and does not require for me to respond to anything outside of that one thing that you have access for. So to question the authority that I have in my home, in my country, with my body, with my choices, with what I want to do with my life, to challenge that as if you have a position in my life to do so, is challenging to address to some people, because it basically says you're out of your fucking mind, you have a problem, you need help, and saying that to someone like that could put you in a predicament. You see people that are mentally and emotionally unstable, and they don't know how to act when you say no to them. And you know you're right in your choices, and you know you're correct in how you express yourself, and you know you're correct in why you say what you say. And you know that if they want to take it further and have a real conversation, they can't deny that what you're saying is a right that you have. So they want you in debate, they want you in justification, they want you in making your point across. Well, here it is. I made my point across, but guess who I'm not making it to? The people that I don't owe an explanation to. I'm putting this here for the people that resonate with me, that are dealing with people that are like that and want to feel supported and want to feel that they're not alone in their stance on their sovereignty. Oh, you want to threaten with this? It's not even a threat. Who was ever dependent on that? What made you think I depended on you? You already showed me I can't depend on you. You already showed me I can't lean on you. You already showed me what you do when you have power. You already showed me how you act in public and how you act behind closed doors. You already showed me how you truly feel about me. So what makes you think in any reality at all that I'm going to go above and beyond for you? At the minimum, you need to hear that you're forgiven. You're forgiven, my child. You need me to be a priestess over you? You're forgiven, my child. Child. That's what you are, a fucking child. You're a child that needs a mother. You're a child that might need a father. You're a child that needs God in your life, because clearly you have none if you don't know how to act and respect someone's right to be. And also, when you cannot comprehend what it means to be accountable and take responsibility and accept the consequence, just accept the consequence of the choice you made. You can't accept the consequence of a simple choice? You were very, very strong when you made that choice. Let me give a few examples. When somebody says, I never want to see you again, and they mean it, you cannot, you can't take that back without showing improvement. In other words, yeah, people say words shouldn't hurt, words don't mean anything, but when you think that you're going to stand on something and in the process dismantle somebody's life because in the moment you felt like it was good for you, you didn't consider who, you didn't consider what, you never once gave a thought. You selfishly just took an action, claiming that it was for the best, claiming it was for the betterment of all. No, that wasn't why you made that choice. You made that choice selfishly because it served you. You didn't give a shit who the fuck it hurt. And now that you see that which you went towards, that which you destroyed what you had to go for, now when you see that those things are not as real as you thought they were, now when you see the consequence of what you created and how much leverage was given to you, how much opportunity was available, how much support was there for you. When you act like that is meaningless, when you act like that's disposable, when you act like that's trash, when you act like that doesn't mean shit to you, when you act like you can say fuck off, I don't give a shit about you, knowing full well that whatever shit that person's giving you is valid, and you're gonna act like you don't know. You know that them being pissed off at you, that them talking to you the way that they did, that them exploding on you, that them bitching you out, that them saying fuck you, I quit, fuck you, go to hell, them doing that, you're gonna act shocked by it. You're gonna act like I don't understand why, and then justify being evil, knowing that the reason they even did that to you is because of the evil shit you're doing. You just think that by not acknowledging it, it means that you're not doing it. Well, yeah, you are. And the reason I know you are is because you haven't yet faced me. And you have to face me personally to show that you are, in fact, that you actually are taking accountability and responsibility. But they don't want to have those conversations. They don't like those conversations. And I'm done acting like my channel has to be politically correct, because who may watch this? Do I give a shit? Let the world see it. Because I'm sure a lot of people can relate to dealing with people that you kindly tell them, look, this to me is wrong for me. I'm not telling you how to live your life. I'm just giving you my personal boundaries. You choose to entertain and deal with me. These are my boundaries. Respect them and I'll respect yours. Simple freaking boundaries. Human boundaries. Boundaries that should be common sense, not explained. Common sense. Which, when I pulled my book earlier today, I started doing a video on it, but then the passage was way too long. It came out on the term common sense. So common sense is, you don't need to be told how to be kind. You don't need to be told what the right thing is. You should know what the right thing is. And you should also not have to be told to manage yourself. It's a simple thing. Manage yourself. This codependency thing that people have with one another, this a control thing that people have with each other, like if I don't like it, you can't like it, and if I say so, you can't do it. Like, I'm sorry, who are you in real time? Like, in real life, I can like you, I can respect you, I can cohabitate with you, but the moment you start telling me that I have to adhere to your rule, we got a problem. Because you're not saying, you know, okay, we could agree to disagree. This is how you feel, this is how I feel. That's fine. As long as it's not hindering me, then it shouldn't be a problem. Otherwise, we'd have to have a conversation about the roles that we have to one another. Because if you have a problem, then that means there was some kind of contract that was created based on a certain belief system that we're not adhering to, right? So you got two people that say, yeah, I agree to love you and marry you, and then they act like they're single. We have a problem there, don't you think? That's a problem? You're not acting like a married man. I mean, did you understand what the rules, what the point of marriage is? And fine, if you say that you're not married, that doesn't mean you don't have the conversation of what it doesn't mean to cohabitate without being married. What does it mean to share a child without a marriage? You're telling me that those conversations didn't occur? Of course they did. Of course you adhere to the exact rules of marriage. The only agreement is, oh, but without the paper, we don't need no entity outside of us to tell us what we are to one another. Yet some people use that as the excuse to not honor the commitment. It's a false contract to them. But do you really think that the contract you made with life to create life, to create a child, you don't think, a document or not, you know you have a child, you mean to tell me that because of a technicality, your responsibility to your child is null and void? And imagine actually being married, imagine actually getting divorced, imagine actually having a court order that says this is what you have to adhere to, because you can't do it on your own. You need a court system to tell you what your responsibility is to the children you created. And you think it's normal to say, no, I don't need to take care of my children because you can do it. If you're doing it, why should I? Because you are their parent also. Oh, but you give me a hard time. Well, maybe we should discuss why you're getting a lot of pushback. maybe the methods of parenting that you have are very different than my method of parenting. And why don't you talk to me about why your methods should be adhered to and why are they better and do they work? Don't tell me how to parent my child when you don't parent your child. Don't tell me what I should do for my child, because if you think that making my child submit to me is how they're going to respect and love me, you're wrong. Making my child submit to what I want them to do, despite them having their own backbone, like that's wrong. Like you don't do that. They don't have any kind of self, you know what I mean? Like we're not talking about a child that doesn't know how to cross the street here. Talk about adult children already that you can actually speak to, talk to. And not even adult. I have a 9-year-old that I can have better conversations with than a fucking above 50-year-old human. Does it make sense? No, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense that you can't say something that sounds a little off because, oh my God, politically correct, and completely act like everything is... Can you imagine an alcoholic telling another alcoholic that you're an alcoholic for having wine once in a year? That would sound ridiculous, right? One alcoholic telling the other alcoholic she needs to be stopped because she drank wine once in a whole year. That's a kind of hypocrisy. That's a kind of fucked up way of thinking that we're talking here. What's good for the goose in many people's minds is not good for the gander. And they will justify how they can do whatever they want. Nobody should tell them what to do. And the moment you're doing what you want and you stand on that, nobody can tell me what to do, they get mad. What are you mad about? I'm not understanding. Like, where did you get the idea that I was down for that? You want to do whatever you want? I'm going to do whatever I want. You don't want me to tell you anything? Then you're not going to tell me anything. You want the freedom to do whatever you want? I'll give you the freedom to do whatever you want. The minute I see something I don't like, don't be mad at the consequence. I think that's a perfectly valid way to have a relationship. The minute somebody's bitching about, I don't like what they're doing, I don't like what they're saying, I don't like how they're being, you're either going to accept who they are the way that they are, you're gonna say what you need from them, give them time to respect it. And if they don't respect it or value it, then you have a choice to make. You know what that choice is? Stay connected the way that they are and accept this is who they are and adapt to building whatever the hell you're building without that person interfering with it. Without those ways that you don't like interfering. And if the ways that they behave that you don't like, if you can move around that without it interfering with your life, it's not hindering you doing what you need to do, then you should be just fine. But a lot of people don't do that. They want to win at all costs. It's like, I'm going to complain and you have to change your mind. And until you change your mind, I'm going to keep complaining. And I'm going to force you to stay here and tolerate that. No, I don't need to tolerate that. If you think I need to change and I don't think I need to change, and I don't think what I'm doing, and I don't think that how I am is in any way a reflection of you or should affect you or is anything to do with you or betraying anything that I have with you. So you just want me to change because it makes you feel like you got some kind of control over me. No, I'm not. Unless it's valid to change, unless it's imperative to change, unless it's necessary for us to continue, then I will have to take that into consideration and be like, okay, we have to continue together because it's in our best interest. Because all of this, if we don't keep doing this together, it might not work. But I don't have any arguments on either end to be like, okay, this is worth staying in. Why would I stay in a bad relationship? Why would I stay at a bad job? Why would I stay surrounded by people that don't like me? Why would I stay surrounded in situations that are not producing anything good? How does that even make sense? In real time, the fact that those are things to even have debates about, the fact that those are things that people are acting like they don't see, the fact that they see it on one end but they don't see it on the other. They can see it clearly on the news with famous people or whatever. They can see the exact thing that you're going through. They can hear the exact thing you're saying, but because you're saying it, they don't hear or see it. When somebody else says it, they'll send you a clip of what somebody else said and say, look, oh my God, isn't this great? Okay, yeah, it's great. It's great. You didn't hear me say that the other day? Didn't I just say that to you? Didn't I have that same conversation with you? So I'm not understanding. What are you sharing that with me for? Is it because you think I don't know this? Is it because what are you sharing it with me for? Ask me the same question. Why am I sending you this clip? Oh, because remember yesterday you were complaining about how you can't get out of this situation. Look, this clip will show you how to get out of this situation. Even though I already told you how to get out of the situation. Look, this confirms what I just said. Take it or leave it. It really does make sense if you hear it. Now, they'll come to you, and despite you doing that, they'll come to you with something that you just told them a day ago and share something. Oh, listen, I want you to hear this audio clip. Bro, it's going to change your mind. It's going to make you see the world in a whole new way. Oh my God, the information here just blew my mind. And you hear what they're sharing with you. And it's nothing. It can literally be a copy of what you told them the day before. What are you supposed to do with that? How are you supposed to respond? Wow, thanks for sharing information that I had no clue existed. Or should I say, oh, is this you confirming what we just talked about yesterday? Because that's what you mean by that, right? Like, wow, it blew your mind that I just told you this yesterday and today you're hearing it from somebody else? Is that what blows your mind? Or does it blow your mind that you're hearing this for the first time? We're going to act like I didn't just tell you this yesterday. I mean, I got a recording right here. I shared this with you yesterday. You want to acknowledge the similarities to what you're claiming is so wow and what I just said? Another example. Somebody will share these undisclosed government files and whatnot and talking about all this stuff. So we're just going to pretend that all of that doesn't sound very familiar. Like you did not exist in my reality all these years to see all these things, and you can't put them side by side and be like, wow, this is what you went through. No, instead, I don't think you should watch this because it's really scary. Not only did I watch it, but if you watched it, you didn't hear anything that it was talking about. None of it felt vaguely familiar. None of it sounded like they could have been talking about me. Not even a little. And tell me if that's not some kind of fucking disassociative kind of bullshit that goes on in your fucking mind when people like are literally watching you every fucking day, knowing full well that you've been saying this, knowing full well what you've been talking about, knowing full well that you got the receipts to show I didn't make this up, I'm not copying somebody, I'm not doing this because this is my life, and you're putting it on screen like it's something else. And the same people that watch me go through it can watch that and be shocked, or watch that and be like, oh my God, I don't think you can handle this. Don't watch this. That's punchable. That makes me want to punch somebody. but I don't punch nobody because it's hurtful. Foolish. Freaking foolish. Folks, the internet thing is something else. Something else. I'll come back with another message. Take care.